Hello, it's me, Nicole. I am excited to be with you again. This is episode 4 of my Recover With Me service learning project. In this episode, we're going to be working on an advanced skill, ordering food either for takeout or at a coffee shop or at a restaurant. And I call this an advanced skill because um, the basic, like learning a basic meal plan, like we did in episode 1, and planning meals and portioning out meals and shopping and cooking, those are pretty already big skills in eating disorder recovery. Ordering food is another one. And I hope that you, during this module of ordering food and what different food items at restaurants mean and how they meet your meal plan, I hope you find this super helpful. So let's get started. I'll share my screen. And here we go. This is module 4, order with me. So the first place that I'll do a little bit of teaching on ordering food is from coffee shops. And I love coffee. I'll drink it almost anytime, anywhere. not in excess. I'm a like 1 to 2 cup per day type person, but I digress. So ordering coffee at various coffee shops, there's a lot of questions that come up in early eating disorder recovery. How does this meet my meal plan? Does it meet my meal plan? Is it too much? Is it too little? So I hope to answer some of those questions through this module. Okay, so the first drink I have listed here is a latte. A latte is primarily steamed milk with a various amount of espresso shots, usually 2. And for 1 dairy or 1 milk serving, a tall it meets your meal plan because you'll have the coffee and then 8 ounces of milk. Got your one dairy food group there item. If you want to add a flavor shot to that, the flavor shot would be considered an extra. So a tall vanilla latte, a tall hazelnut latte, that sort of stuff is still your 1 milk. A cappuccino, you would need a grande or a 16 ounce in order to meet your 1 item, because a cappuccino is made mostly with foam and then a little bit of steamed milk. So the density of the foam, you just need a bit more foam in order to make up for that. A misto, which is my favorite drink to order, you also need a grande because a misto is half steamed milk and half water. So you just need a bit more volume in order to make up that dairy portion. During the Christmas season, which is when I'm recording this during the holiday season, is I get an Americano misto with eggnog. And then caramel macchiato is similar to a latte, I think, except it's reversed. So like on a latte, espresso first, then the steamed milk, and on a macchiato, you put the steamed milk in first and then pour the espresso on top. That is a tall is sufficient to give you that 1 milk. While I'm on the topic of milk and dairy, you might remember this from episode 1, but you can do milk, any of these drinks with milk to meet the dairy requirement. You can also do any of these drinks with soy milk, as it's fortified with calcium and vitamins A and D, and it has protein as well. If for whatever reason you can't have dairy milk or soy milk, please check with your dietitian on other milk alternatives and if those meet your meal plan. So here are some more drink options. Let's say you're not in the coffee mood or you've had enough coffee for the day and you want a hot chocolate. Hot chocolate will count as a tall hot chocolate. A 12-ounce hot chocolate is 1 milk, and you throw some whipped cream on there and you got an added fat as well. That's a 2-item option at a coffee shop. Mocha, coffee, chocolate, and steamed milk. A tall mocha with whip, also 1 dairy item and 1 added fat. Frappuccino, that blended coffee, ice, dairy drinks. Again, a frappuccino is a 12-ounce frappuccino would be equivalent to 1 milk, and if you have whipped cream on that, it's equivalent to 1 milk plus 1 added fat. I am preparing these slides in winter, which is I guess technically fall, but details. But which is probably why I've added an apple spice cider. But I was just thinking if it was summertime, I probably would have added a lemonade of sorts. So a lemonade, apple spice cider, that those types of drinks, juice-based type drinks. One tall would be two fruit because about half a cup of juice is equivalent to one fruit serving. And the last drink I have on here, though, of course, there's so many other options. I hope this is a guide. A blended smoothie type drink. This would be your strawberry banana smoothie, your, tropical blend, those things. A grande size, 16 ounce, would be equivalent to two fruit servings and one protein. All right, so that's a coffee shop guide on how to meet your meal plan. But what if we wanted to have a full meal out? That's another challenge. So the first set of skills I hope to offer you is when you are ordering at a sushi restaurant. So I've broken down the first three items into like what I would say are common or popular sushi rolls based on my limited sushi knowledge, or you could argue extensive sushi knowledge as a Vancouver born and raised West Coast person. But so California roll or dynamite roll, salmon or tuna, chicken or beef, basically any roll that has protein in it would be equivalent to one protein serving. So that remember that 1 ounce of protein is one serving, and the rice would be equivalent to one grain. So if you wanted to start making if you wanted to meet your meal plan, your lunch meal plan, which the basic meal plan includes 2 ounces of protein and two green servings, a good start could be two of these rolls. And two rolls would give you your 2 ounce protein that you need at lunch, or that a basic meal plan requires at lunch, and your two green servings. A yam roll is, because yam is a starchy vegetable, a yam roll would be two green servings. And an avocado roll, because avocado is an added fat, would be one grain plus one added fat. Oops, let me go back. So tempura is another thing people often order at a sushi restaurant. Tempura can be vegetables, yams, prawn. There's probably other options as well, but those I think are the main three I know of. Is breaded in panko crust, but not enough panko to count as a grain serving. So the panko on there would be considered an extra. So two pieces of either, whether it's two veggie tempura, two prawn tempura, or two yam tempura would be equivalent to the following. So one fruit veg and one added fat for those two pieces of veggie tempura, one protein and one added fat for two prawn tempuras, and then one grain and one added fat for two yam tempuras. You might be wondering why one dynamite roll is one protein, but two prawn tempuras is two proteins, and that's just simply for to take into account the size of rolls. In dynamite rolls, they often put two prawns in there, so that might throw some people off of but again, I've taken all this information from the St. Paul's Eating Disorder program that has registered dietitians who specialize in eating disorders who have planned this and approved it. So this is coming from, even though I'm not a registered dietitian, the source is. Okay, some other items you can get at sushi restaurants are sashimi, and that's your piece of usually raw fish, but any protein, and it conveniently comes in about a 1 ounce portion. So any kind of sashimi, I said that wrong. One piece of that would be one protein. Gomai is a crowd favorite sometimes. That's a cold spinach salad with a sesame or peanut dressing on top. So one order of that would be equivalent to 1 to 2 fruit veg, because it's cold cooked spinach. Just the way leafy greens work when you cook them, it could actually be one fruit veg. It could be two as well. And then the dressing is your added fat. Edamame beans. One order of those will usually be about 2 proteins. They come shelled, but you can count on about 2 ounces of protein for a edamame order. And then some other orders, there's rice or noodle bowls at a lot of Japanese restaurants. So that's your yakisoba, your udon, your teriyaki rice bowls with that sort of stuff. If it comes with meat or tofu, then your one bowl will be equivalent to 2 protein servings, 2 ounces of protein, and 2 grains, because there's going to be about a cup of rice in that serving. And if you get a rice or noodle bowl with veggies, like a teriyaki stir fry type stuff, one bowl will be equivalent to 1 to 2 fruit vegetables and 2 grains. And the reason I say 1 to 2 fruit vegetables is because I've been to some sushi restaurants that have about half a cup of veggies provided, which would be half a cup is equal to your one serving. And I've been to other places that really do load on the veggies, and you can get your 2 full servings out of that. So that's a skill you'll have to eyeball once you get there. Okay, moving on. Pizza. This is potentially a challenging item for some people in eating disorder recovery, again, because it's a mixed food. You've got your grain and your protein and your dairy, like kind of all mixed into one, and your fruit veg all mixed into one item. So it can get a bit like, I'm out at a friend's house and they're ordering pizza and I need to meet my meal plan. I don't know how to do that. I hope this resource and this grid is helpful for you. So I've organized it so that we're talking about 3 different types of pizza. You've got your meat pizza, that's anything with pepperoni, a meat lovers. I'm trying to think, whatever other meat type pizzas there are, without any veggies though, would go in this category. I think there's like an Italian sausage something. I'm really not sure, but I'm sure you do. Vegetarian pizza would be, again, any pizza without meat on it, but we'll have some fruit veg. And the combo here would be, say, like your ham and pineapple type pizzas, or your pepperoni and peppers. Anything that has the meat with a fruit veg will fall into this combo. Okay, so the general rule of thumb is 2 pieces of pizza will meet a basic meal plan for either lunch or dinner. So that's like if you're out at a friend's house, or if you're at a party or something and pizza's coming, and you start to feel like, I don't know how to meet my meal plan, the general rule of thumb is 2 slices will equal a basic meal plan. But let's break that down a little bit and why that is. So we got your crust, your toppings, and your cheese. The crust, once general slice of pizza, the triangle slice, will equal 1 serving of grain. So 2 slices, you got your 2 grain there. Here's where the toppings get a little different, depending on which pizza you have here. So for a meat pizza, if you got protein on, if you got your pepperoni, your bacon, your ham, all these meat options for pizza, there's about 1 ounce of meat per slice. And again, so if you have 2 slices, you're going to get 2 grain and 2 protein. With vegetarian, again, there's about half a cup of vegetables on each slice. Again, some restaurants will have more veggies and some will have less, so do use your eyeballing skills for that. But generally, 1 piece of vegetarian pizza, as long as there's veggies on it. I know sometimes cheese pizza is considered vegetarian, but as you'll see, we'll get into the cheese just in a second. So if it has veggies on it, about half a cup will be on 1 slice. And then if you are getting a combo type pizza like the Hawaiian, the ham and pineapple, then you'll have about half an ounce of protein per 1 slice and about half a serving of fruit veg, so like a 1/4 cup of veggies per slice. Okay. Then we've got the cheese. So cheese, if you remember again back to episode 1, cheese is equivalent to, it can be equivalent to protein or dairy. So in this case, if you were eating lunch and you had 2 pieces of meat pizza, where you have 2 grain, you got your 2 ounce protein because you're doing the 2 pieces. You don't necessarily need to count it as a 3rd protein. So I would move it over to count as your 1 dairy serving for lunch. Similarly, if you're having the same meal for dinner, where dinner requires, on a basic meal plan, 3 ounces of protein, 2 slices would be still your 2 grain. 2 slices would still have 2 proteins coming from the meat. And I would have the 3rd protein, your 3rd ounce of protein, come from the cheese, because dairy is on a basic meal plan, optional at dinner time. Okay, moving on, we got the same situation going on with vegetarian. As you'll notice, there's no protein in the toppings on a vegetarian pizza. So that's where using the cheese that comes would be really great. So for lunch, 2 slices of vegetarian pizza will give you your 2 grain your 2 fruit veg, and your 2 proteins. And then you can have like a cup of milk, or find a dairy option that will suit you. And last but not least, your combo pizza will, 2 pieces of your combo pizza will give you 2 grains. It'll give you a full ounce of protein and and a full fruit veg serving. And then your other protein here can come from the cheese, or you can find another protein source. And then, so to make a meal out of a meat pizza, grab 2 slices of any meat pizza, have a cup of salad, leafy greens, cup and a half, give or take, and enjoy your full meal that meets your meal plan through pizza. So again, just to remind you, a golden rule, we can call it, for ordering pizza would be 2 slices, generally meet your meal plan. For sushi, 2 rolls plus, let's say, a gomai will meet your meal plan. Your rice or noodle bowl plus a gomai could meet your meal plan. And for coffee, any item on a coffee list will be about 1 to 2 items for your basic meal plan. Okay, so I just want to check back in with you. That was a lot of information and a lot of numbers. And I know that for those who are in eating disorder recovery, both of those things can be really overwhelming. So I do want to take a minute to do a deep breathing and mindfulness activity with you. You may have heard some music in the background, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that up now. And I'm going to set a timer here for 1 minute. Sorry, I'm not going to set a timer because I don't want the bell to go off in the middle of this. That can be startling. So I'm going to set the stopwatch, and I'll slowly turn the music down when the minute's ending. And I want you to really focus on breathing, and please breathe with me. I'll be doing some deep breaths. And we're going to breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Let's go. Okay, and as the music fades, I invite you to come back into the room. Open your eyes if they were closed. If at any time any of the modules I'm sharing or anything else in your own recovery gets really overwhelming, remember, deep breathing is a very, very useful resource to bring yourself and ground yourself back into the present. Share my screen one final time with you guys, just so I can leave you here with my thank you, with my email and Instagram handles. If you have any questions about this presentation or about how to order food out and about when you're in eating disorder recovery. I do have Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. There's no little symbol here for Instagram, but feel free to connect with me on that. And I just want to note that the credits for this particular presentation, not necessarily all the ones I have done, But this particular one I downloaded from a place called Slidesgo, and I really like the way it looks. So I think Slidesgo and Flaticon for the infographics. And I'll see you next time on Recover With Me. Bye. I don't know why I threw in a kiss there. It's awkward ending these things. I don't know how to. Okay, bye.